79 days until I take my Gracie Combatives belt test, but it's Wednesday. And you know what that means? That means it's weigh-in Wednesday. I'm going to update you on my weight loss progress, but it's a little bit tricky because I'm not sure exactly where to start counting from. I think it was February 9th was the last time I posted a weigh-in on social media, and I'd lost 40 pounds from my heaviest weight. I am not going to tell you what that weight is because, frankly, I'm freaking embarrassed. I think when I hit my goal weight or when I hit a certain milestone, I'll reveal my heaviest weight, but I don't really want to say that right now. But here's the deal. I lost 40 pounds. I think back in February, it was actually 42 pounds from my heaviest weight. And since February 9th, the last time I posted about my weight, I've lost another 6 pounds. But I can tell you this, all 6 of those pounds were probably in the last week, because if you look at my graph, because I weigh myself and it tracks it pretty much day after day. If you look at the graph, it's pretty much sideways for the last, probably since February, honestly. From February, I gained about 3, maybe 4 pounds, and I'll just kind of go on sideways. It's like trading in a channel for the last few months. And it wasn't until last week, Tuesday. Last week, Tuesday, I ran into somebody that I know, that I like, that I trust, that I respect. And this person, who is a Jiu-Jitsu instructor who owns his own school, he said to me, he goes, "Hey man, you want to be an instructor, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "What about your fitness, your weight loss, and how you present yourself?" And I said, "Well, you know, I don't know, maybe, whatever." And he's like, no, seriously, you should think about that, because you want to lead people, inspire people in a variety of ways, not just teach them the moves, but you want to be a leader and an example in other ways as well. And I'll be honest, at first, it ticked me off, because I'm like, this guy doesn't know me. He has no idea of all the leadership things I've done in my past, all my leadership qualities, all the things that I've accomplished in terms of leadership training, leadership jobs, leadership roles, leadership positions. I'm a freaking leader, right? But what he was getting at, and what I came to appreciate after the fact, is that I don't look like a leader. I don't look the part of the person who has the experience, the mindset, the skills, the ability, whatever you want to call it, that I believe I have. And the reason why that's a big deal is because, I mean, let's face it, people look at a chubby guy, an overweight guy, and they go, what's wrong with that guy? Now, maybe you personally don't do that, but if I saw an overweight guy, a morbidly obese guy, which is what I am, which is what I was, I would say, yeah, something's not right about that guy. I wouldn't trust that guy nearly as much as I would trust a fit person. I wouldn't want to follow that guy into battle, into war, into business nearly as much and nearly as readily as I would follow somebody who looks the part, who is healthy, who is fit, who looks strong, who looks like they have their crap together. It's kind of like smoking, right? And I don't want to insult any smokers on here, but I'll be honest, when I find out somebody smokes, I'm kind of like, what's wrong with them? Why do you need to smoke? Like, what do you get out of that? You know it's bad for you. You know it's killing you. So why are you doing it? So it's like, if I had a jiu-jitsu instructor, school owner, whatever, who was a chain smoker, I'd be like, what's wrong with that guy? That doesn't add up. You're healthy. You're supposed to be healthy, right? And so in the same regard, I think if people look at a chubby guy, an overweight guy, a morbidly obese guy, who's supposed to lead you, not just in the techniques and the skills, but also in the lifestyle, the culture, the fitness, whatever, and you go, what's wrong with that guy? Why is this guy eating too much? Obviously, we can look at him. He's not making good decisions. We can look at him and say his priorities aren't straight. So how is this guy, who clearly has some kind of a problem, who needs food, like the smoker needs cigarettes, and I would say, I wonder what's wrong with that guy. What's his problem? And so after this discussion last week, Tuesday, I felt called out. I felt a little embarrassed. I felt a little angry, I'll be honest, but I kind of reeled myself in and I said, you know what? This person is right. And I'm not going to tell you who it is because I don't want to get any hate mail or get any blowback. But I thought, this person is right. I do need to do better. I do need to look the part of what I aspire to be, what I already am. And so the bottom line is, if you want to count from February, the last time that I posted any weight loss, I'm down 6 freaking pounds. So kudos to me. Thank you for the support. I'm going to keep going. And yes, I'm doing a low carb, pretty much keto diet. I'm hitting the gym at least once a day. I'm trying to get my 10,000 steps. I'm doing the damn thing. But if you want to go from like the last week or so, it's actually even more. So here's my thing. I have a goal. And my goal is not just to master jiu-jitsu, but it's to master myself. My goal is to make sure I'm representing myself well, clearly, positively, and part of that is how I look, part of that is my health. And so I'm taking it seriously, regardless if I ever teach jiu-jitsu or go through the instructor certification program or own my own CTC. But since those are my goals, I definitely need to look the part, and I definitely need to be able to lead others, not just spiritually, which I've done in the past, not just mentally, which I guess I do in the classroom, but also physically, with technique, with skill, and with lifestyle choices. And so I hope this ramble isn't too much of a ramble. I hope it doesn't piss anybody off. But if you're a bigger guy and you aspire to be seen as a leader, to be seen as if you have your crap together, you might want to ask yourself, how would you view the version of you that you see in the mirror right now versus the version of you that is possible? How would you see, or how would you feel about following, trusting, benefiting from, learning from somebody who looks like you now versus looks like you with, 15% body fat, right? That's kind of where I'm at. Is I want to make sure that what I see up here matches, what I feel in here and how I see myself up here matches what I see in the mirror. And so it's a ramble. I'm sorry, but it's a Wednesday ramble. It's a weight loss Wednesday ramble. So I'll just say officially down 6 pounds since my previous weigh-in, and now I'll continue to track from here on. So that means I'm down a total of, 48 pounds from my heaviest? That's pretty good. 47, 48. So hell yeah, man, I'm making progress. I can't wait to get even lower. So I'll keep you posted on the weight loss progress every Wednesday, but let me know what you think in the comments about leadership, about trust, about anything I said in this video, and hit me up on social media at Chris Learns Jiu-Jitsu. But for now, I'm signing off, and that means you got to stay focused, you got to stay positive, and you got to stay vigilant. See you next time.